So the last thing we want to do while entering our opponents, breaking them out of position, you always want to be comfortable, okay? And one thing that I see across the board a lot of wrestlers like doing, as well as myself, I have Tommy here break down with me, okay? Again, I always want to keep that bubble, right? And while entering the bubble, I want good position, again, broken down. And guys, you don't always have to enter, okay, with a stagger stance, right? There's guys out there, world champions out there, that enter and wrestle with a square stance. And the reason why is if you're able to execute a square stance, it's something that I've been learning and teaching myself, okay? If I have a square stance, but when I'm entering, as you can see, my knees are bent, both are over my toes, okay? And my weight in my butt is sitting, so my weight is centered, right? And what this does, it gives me more of an advantage, okay, to move lateral and attack lateral more than straight forward, straight backward, okay? If I start having to move forward, you're gonna see me start using my scissor step, okay, and bringing my head to them here, okay? And if I'm moving backwards, you're gonna see me get into my sugar foot stance again, okay? And where I'm moving backwards, okay? And as you can tell when I'm moving, guys, movements, again, aren't big movements, okay? They're not like this. This is too much, okay? I start doing this to Tommy. I become exposed. Now my attack becomes a score for my opponent. That's something we don't want to do. We want to eliminate points across the board anywhere to eliminate this guy from scoring, especially on our action, okay? So, break it down. I don't care if you're sugar foot or your square stance. One thing I'm going to do when I enter Tommy, I always have relaxed hands, okay? In case he does get past my head, okay? My hands are here. If he takes a shot, my hands get in between us, right? Now I can move side to side, right? But while entering, whether it's a sugar foot, whether it's a square stance, okay, hands are relaxed. I'm moving short, choppy steps. What I like to call it, it's happy feet, okay? You ever seen that, the movie, The Penguin? Okay? When I wrestle, I like to have happy feet, but I like to be balanced, okay? And when I'm entering this guy, all I'm gonna do is try to nudge forward with my forehead. Obviously, I'm entering the bubble. So again, I want my hands down, and I just want to touch this guy with my forehead and push him, okay? I might get a reaction most of the time. Either he's going to flee out of the position, try to create an angle, okay? And I can open him up for an attack. Or this guy might put hands on me. And if he does, now we're getting to our ties. We're clearing ties, okay? And we're moving this guy to position for an attack, okay? So again, Tommy's going to get in a position. I'm going to break down the third one when I like to enter, okay? The first one is mostly sugar foot. If you guys are comfortable in the square stance, you can always go scissor step, enter the bubble with a jab fake, okay? Or a scissor fake, okay? That's what Coach Monday likes to call it, okay? As you can tell, back legs bent, weight sitting, knees over toe. Just say Tommy goes to try to attack my lead leg foot. I can take it back, and I keep him in front of me, staying in good position. Okay? The second one, the backhand line. Again, we're staying position. We're going to use a pop, or we're going to slide off to our collar and move Tommy to the angle. Okay? And the third one is for those guys that are very good in position. And a guy like Tommy Gant, I know he's explosive. He moves a lot. So I like to enter with my forehead, hands down, okay? And I'm going to enter Tommy's bubble by touching him with my head, right? An attack we're looking for in something like this, I start to enter Tommy and Tommy starts to fake. Okay, I can drop down and snag and start getting to my single leg here, right? But I want to make sure I'm covered any way that I'm entering Tommy, okay? Broken down, whether it's the jab fake, I'm covering my positions. There's short steps, back foot's always going to follow, okay? The backhand tie, backhand comes up, back leg staying bent. I can move Tommy, okay, pop Tommy. Okay, some of you guys want to watch, especially if you're in college, touching the face, because sometimes you get in trouble. All I want to do is cover almost Tommy's eyes, right? And even if I don't make contact with him, Tommy wants to take that out of his face. And when he does that, it gives me ways to move Tommy and get him out of position, right? Now I got Tommy's back leg coming up and starting to become long. All I gotta do is little stuff to pull him and create angles, and now I can open up to attacks, right? And obviously the third one is I'm just gonna walk this down, okay? When I like to nudge with my head, again, you can use Sugarfoot, okay? Sugarfoot hands are relaxed in case he tries to rip off a shot. I can get down and defend, or I can go square stance and nudge Tommy, okay? And from here, I'm moving Tommy, to the next position to attack, to the angle, okay? But I want to get him out of A position, right? Going back to that A position. Tommy's very comfortable when he's in his Sugarfoot stance, okay? I start nudging him, okay? I start moving him out of A position. You see his feet start squaring up. Maybe he'll start reaching, right? And this will give us openings for attacks, right? So the next thing I want to roll into is while we're entering our opponents, okay? Tommy is a great wrestler. He's not just gonna let me enter him without any repercussions, right? There's two things gonna happen. I'm gonna enter Tommy. He's gonna back away, right? Maybe three. He's gonna give ground, okay? The second one is he's gonna put hands on me to take me offline and start manipulating my position for him to attack me. Or the third one is this guy might try to attack me, or he might throw a jab fake, okay? And what we just covered, no matter if I'm in Sugarfoot, okay? One of the easiest ways to get a takedown and catch your opponent off guard is to catch him on his face, right? And there's guys, as Tommy Gant, that are gonna move, right? There's guys like Jordan Burroughs, all those athletic guys that move, myself, that move from the outside. And sometimes it's like, how do I approach this guy, right? I'm not the one throwing the jab fake. I'm not the one throwing the blind into a club, right? This guy's starting to pick up momentum on me, and he's starting to get me off balance, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold good position, right? And this guy starts faking. All I wanna do is, I wanna take him mentally off the mindset of attacking. And what I mean by that is when Tommy fakes, I want to do something as what we just did is a low-level sting, or I want to throw a fake back at him. Because what that does is now mentally he goes from an offensive mindset. When I throw a fake at him or I sting him, his mindset switches from offensive very quickly to defensive, right? It's like the game of basketball. It's like teams go on runs. Coach got to call a timeout. Okay, let's stop this guy's momentum. In wrestling, we control that, right? So when I'm attacking, right, I'm attacking here, this guy, I start feeling his momentum come. I start feeling him starting to get pursuing me, and I'm getting off balance, right? I might throw a little fake back, and look, it got Tommy wanting to reach. For a split second, Tommy went straight leg a little bit, right? And if not, he's gonna flee out of the position he fakes. I'm gonna throw back, and now I can take control, okay, of the momentum. I can start pushing my attacks. I can start breaking into his bubble, okay? And a great technique I like to cover with people, and this goes back to the bull ego, right? Everybody thinks in wrestling, oh, I gotta push this guy around. I gotta maneuver him, and I gotta take control of the mat. Sometimes you don't, right? This is a very, very good way of setting your opponent up and extending him when his position's good. And not every time I'm going to be able to move him out of position by faking at him, clubbing him and moving him, okay, and bringing my head to him. Sometimes, a technique that I like to call playing with the bull, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to get ground, discipline, and in position that soon as Tommy extends, If he starts faking on me, I give ground discipline and in position so when he fakes, I can sting him, right? Whether it be a low single, whether it be a double leg, or a high crotch, okay? But I have to be in position, and this is where people have the mistake of saying, oh, he can do that because he's fast, or he's explosive. Guys, you can be fast, you can be explosive, right? And everybody says, oh, it's my timing, it's my timing. But your timing comes off because your position's off, right? When I'm wrestling here, there's two things that can happen. Tommy can fake, and I'm not in a great position, and I gotta get to position and try to get to Tommy's leg. That split second, okay, at the highest level, Tommy sees me go like this, he reads my body, foot's gone. Split second, right? In fast motion, he comes, disappears. I'm missing, right? How do I fix my timing? How do I become more explosive or faster, right? And it's all in the position, right? We come back from wrestling, we take maybe a week, 2 weeks off, and we're like, our timing's off. No, your endurance to hold position, your discipline to hold position, the habits that you create to hold discipline are off because you haven't been in here working on it, right? So I become fast when I'm in position and can cut a split second off from having to do this. Tommy fakes at me, lower level, and trying to tag it because now Tommy's going to disappear. To I'm in position, Tommy fakes, and I'm able to get in on the shot, right? Again, whether it's low single, we can go double from here, and we can go high crotch, right? But all of it's going to come in position, right? So when I'm giving ground, right? A lot of us will give ground. Look at my butt. I don't want this, okay? Tommy can pull on my head, and all my weight goes forward. Again, now it becomes his attack, right? I want to put Tommy in position, make Tommy feel comfortable. Okay, so this is what I said. I like to call playing with the pool. This is a technique that I formed to extend people because I was so much an attack wrestler that people start blocking me off and giving ground. So I start making people feel comfortable to attack me, right? So I start giving ground and then freestyle a point for a push out, okay, is getting me to the out of bounds line. So when I start moving to the out of bounds line, they naturally want to start giving and taking ground from me, right? So I'm going to give ground. I'm going to give ground in position, ready to defend, but I'm setting myself up. I'm almost coiling, right? I like to call it coiling, right? When you get near a snake, right? The snake don't get long and try to slither away. You get near a snake, and he starts attacking you. The snake starts going into a position where it's like, hey, buddy, back up, get away from me, right? And this is like the same thing I like to take in wrestling, right? I start giving ground, Tommy's getting closer, I start coiling, and as soon as I see him step or come out of position, I explode into my shot, right? Right there was a double. Low single is very good, but double is great from here. Once you got a guy extended and you can attack him, okay? The next thing, okay, is if I'm not giving ground, guys are gonna try to put their hands on me, right? And when I'm moving, right, this guy's taking ground or we're in good position, he's gonna put his hands on me, right? The one thing I like to address is clearing ties. This is huge, right? We get so caught up at wanting to pull people and put pressure on them. One thing I'm gonna do is I'm always gonna clear ties, okay? But I use the phrase, seeing is believing. So when I'm clearing a tie, it doesn't have to be a drastic, snap and move this guy, okay? I want it to be very short. I want it to be disciplined because following the snap or following clearing the tie becomes an attack for myself, right? Because what I'm doing is I'm putting weight in Tommy's feet. And if I pull on Tommy or I clear a tie, you know, and I do something like this, okay, little short movements, again, seeing is believing. Don't worry about this. If I'm in good position, Tommy isn't going to do anything but pull me close to him in good position, right? My weight's sitting. We have the tendency that when we're getting pulled, our butt goes up, and all of a sudden we're like this trying to find our opponent, And look at these windows it creates. Boom. Tommy's through, and he's scoring, right? So how can we limit that? Right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay in good position. I'm seated, okay? Like to clear ties by showing this guy something. Seeing is believing. There's an unwritten rule in wrestling, okay? He naturally reacts to my body movements, okay? If I do this, Tommy starts raising and touching, right? It's a natural reaction, okay? We're so programmed that some of the things we do, we don't even know what's happening, right? I start circling like this and touch Tommy, look at him. He starts circling, right? And for me, that's great because I'm showing him this, right? And when we get further down the line to our misdirection attacks, I'm pushing him back into one of my main attacks, right? But all I'm doing is showing him body movement and body language, I like to call it, and he reads it, right? And I like to think of wrestling as 50-50, right? I'll do 50% of the work, but I'm gonna make my opponent do the other 50%, right? So the same thing here, when guys start going to my head or start to put hands on me, okay, there's two things I like to do, okay? I'm gonna keep my butt squatted, my knees squatted here, stay in good position. I'm always gonna try to get inside control. But if I can't, one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab onto a handle, right? And I'm just gonna show him something. Again, seeing is believing, right? I can extend Tommy, but I wanna make sure I get him reactive. If I don't do anything to get him to react, and I try to extend Tommy or clear a tie, he's gonna just dive in and knock me off balance and he's scoring, right? So I'm in good position. I'm not worried about him getting underneath me. He goes to my head, that's fine. I'm gonna grab a handle, right? Seeing's believing. I'm gonna just show Tommy a cross hand, literally reach and touch, okay? Touch at his knee to make him extend. And I'm gonna clear a tie. I'm gonna take it off. And every time I clear a tie, right, on the first example here, is I'm putting weight down. I'm never pulling weight across, right? I'm gonna pull weight down to the mat, right? In case Tommy decides to shoot while I show him, right? And my position's good. I'm not doing this, right? I'm in good position. See it's believing, watch. And I put weight down. In case Tommy tries to shoot, it'll turn into an easy go around for me, right? These are one of the easiest points. I show him something, I put down. He goes to take a shot. I'm pulling down, so his momentum is now going into the mat instead of him having momentum shooting through and getting into my body, right? I can turn around his offense to an easy counterattack. The second thing I like doing is sometimes when guys put hands on me, I'm not gonna be able just to show him something because this guy's gonna rewrap me, okay, and be able to pass me and attack, right? So the next thing I like to do is, I think back of what would make me uncomfortable, right? What is he doing to attack me, and what's making his attacks effective, right? It's his feet. It's him being able to move his feet and explode, right? So when guys put hands on me, instead of being long and touching, right? Because if I'm long and I'm touching, look at my elbows, okay? I call these windows. Tommy can use these windows to score. Go score, Tommy. Right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm always gonna close windows and I'm gonna shorten things up. So when Tommy puts his hands on me, instead of going here, right? I'm gonna go, okay? And I start sagging, okay? Weight's going into my knees, but I start putting weight in his elbow, okay? And for Tommy, he's not only carrying his own weight, now he's carrying my weight. Now it makes him hard, okay, to attack me, right? And it puts weight in his feet. And now he can't really move. Now Tommy's thinking about clearing a position. As soon as he does, okay, he drops that arm out after I put weight into it, I can attack again, okay? Whether it be single, okay? And I go to single a lot because single leg is the #1 takedown in the world, right? There's different variations, okay? And then we're gonna move into a different couple single leg variations. all right? But we can go double. If you feel high crotch, you can go high crotch, right? Double, okay? But we're gonna put weight in this guy's feet to make him not want to take the shot, but also clear. And again, we're switching his mindset from offensive to defensive, okay? With a simple side pull, okay? He touches, okay? We don't want to get long. We want to coil, okay? We want to compact ourselves, make ourselves into a ball, right? Say I pull Tommy, and he does take the shot. I'm in a ball, I'm in good position, my head's blocking him, my hands can get down, and I can recover, right? Now I come back up, and I'm back in a good position, right? But if he's pulling on me and I'm extended, Tommy takes a shot, I'm long, I'm easy to get through, and he can get his momentum into me, and now it turns into his takedown. All right, so now, okay, I like to do the steps of how I'm thinking, right? When I'm entering my opponents, when my opponents are entering my space of giving ground and creating attacks for myself, okay? One thing that I'm gonna cover now, getting into it, it's the #1 takedown in the world, which is single leg, but there's different variations of a single leg, right? There's a low single, there's sweep single, okay? And then there's a snatch single, right? And snatch single can be used across the board more so in jiu-jitsu type settings and MMA and things like that. Whereas sweep single and low single can as well, as you see a guy like Yoel Romero drop down and low single somebody in UFC, but those are like freak of nature. So getting right into it is, I'm always gonna look for my single leg, right? And I like to start with a drill that I like to break down, because when we shoot single legs, okay, a lot of people get to match up, right? And Tommy comes out and gets in the stance. One of the biggest problems in wrestling is wrestlers that are right leg lead, and they have to wrestle another right leg lead, and they believe that they have to attack the front leg, right? And you don't always have to attack the front leg. Even though that single leg is deep back there, okay, there's a drill I like to do that helps me promote myself to get into a single leg no matter where it is, okay? So for this, okay, for this drill, I'm just gonna have Tommy go square, okay? This is something I do every day, and it teaches you one of the first things you learn in wrestling. It's called penetration, right? But what we wanna do is we wanna make sure when we penetrate, we're bringing our hips with us and we're staying in a balanced attack, right? In case we don't get to our shot, right? If we don't get to our shot, we can move to our second attack and third attack, right? Again, staying in position while we're moving from one position to the next allows us to be way more efficient, and also, I like to call it insurance. We have insurance on ourselves, because then if a guy goes to re-attack, we're in position to defend ourselves and move to the next position, whether it be us re-attacking him or us just clearing out to get back to our feet into a good position where we feel comfortable to attack and begin wrestling. Okay, so me and Tommy, I'm gonna have Tommy break down here. He's gonna go into square stance. I don't care if he stands up, right? I'm gonna get down again in my sugar foot stance. This is what I prefer, okay? Again, you guys can be square. When I go to take the shot, all I'm gonna do is a drill right here. I learned it from Coach Zeke Jones, okay? Is I'm gonna go split step, but every time I go to penetrate to my single leg, all I'm gonna have Tommy do is lift up his leg, and I wanna make sure that when I'm penetrating, okay, I'm pushing off this back foot, okay? My front foot, I'm gonna try to step on Tommy's toe, okay? And as I do, back foot, like I said, guys, in our fakes, when we fake, back foot always comes up. Same thing with a shot, but we're gonna windshield wiper, okay? And for this drill that I like to do, I break down, I'm pushing off that back foot, I'm gonna shoot a swing single, okay? Or just a straight on single at Tommy's right foot here, and all he's gonna do is pick it up. Why he picks it up, I should be penetrating past his leg, okay? Because in wrestling, when we shoot, I don't want to shoot to the leg, right? Because if you see, when I shoot to the leg, my knee goes in the mat, right? So what that means is all my momentum is not felt in Tommy's thigh here, okay? And in his leg, right? And And a good defensive person, such as a Kyle Page, when I take this shot, will get hips into me, and now he's sprawling and putting me in a bad position. And now my attack again becomes his attack. That's something we want to eliminate on all costs, okay? So when I shoot a single leg, I want to penetrate past the leg, right? And I want to step to the foot, okay? I don't want my knee to hit, okay? I want my shoulder to hit Tommy's leg, okay, before my knee hits the mat. Reason why is I want to shoot through this guy and knock him off balance, right? So just for this drill purpose, I'm going to shoot at the leg and Tommy's going to lift it and I should be penetrating past it, right? Bent down, I'm going to scissor step or just press off that back foot. I'm stepping to the foot, okay? Toe's going to plant, okay? Toe plant, back foot's coming up, and I'm almost, again, penetrating off my front foot and trying to get through this leg. As you can see, when I take this shot, my hips came through, my back leg came with me, windshield wiper, okay? And my head and chest are up, okay? Promoting good defense. And position to be ready to move to the next position. I like to do it both sides, okay? Some coaches will always tell you if you can do something on one side, make sure you can do it on the other side, right? And this will be costly later down the road when I'm trying to set up misdirection. So in this drill, okay, now I'm going to go square, okay, and I'm going to go to his left leg. Left leg becomes my power. I'm in good position, okay, shooting through, hips stay with me, head and chest stay up, okay, back leg follows, okay, very quickly, stepping through. Tommy's lifting. I can even go through the middle, right? He's just gonna spread a little bit more. And I'm gonna shoot through and make sure every time I'm taking these shots, as you're seeing, my knee is getting carried. It is not going into the mat, because as soon as it goes into the mat, it looks like this. I can extend it, and now we're in a whole world of trouble, okay? And this drill, no. But if me and Tommy are wrestling, and I take a shot, and I extend, I'm in a whole world of trouble, and I'm just giving my opponent points here, okay? So when we're getting into our single leg, okay, the first one we're gonna cover, what we have already covered, is the low single, okay? Stinging this guy, and it comes from outside jab fake, okay? What I want Tommy to do is I want a reaction, right? And it might come from the front foot, it might be the back foot, okay? But the low single, I'm gonna jab at it, okay? And this isn't for the drill purposes, okay? I'm gonna jab at it, and then I sting it. Or the other instance we had earlier in the video is Tommy fakes at me, okay? And I drop down and I snag, okay? But as I snag, again, my position's good, okay? You don't see my butt up, okay? You don't see my weight forward when I snag. I want to drop straight down, okay? I want to drop straight down and get the back of that ankle, okay? Forearm staying alongside of Tommy's foot, okay? Now I have options here, okay? If Tommy, depending on the way he reacts, right? Picture perfect, I find, I snag at a low single, either off of Tommy's fake, okay? Or if I want to create a low single action, I'm going to fake at Tommy's foot, staying in good position. I like to do it from distance, okay? I'm going to fake, I see the reaction, I snag the low single. Picture perfect, my head finds the inside of this knee, post hand comes back, okay? Post hand will come back and protect myself from getting chest wrapped. This guy creating any scrambles, right? My hips are on my heels. Okay, I don't want to be forward here in this position. My head finds the knee. All I'm going to do is look into that knee, start driving off this back foot into the knee. As I feel him collapsing, the hand that's posted and that came back will shoot across Tommy's hips for our takedown. Okay? That's a picture perfect finish on this low single here, guys. okay? And this can come from, okay, this can come from the outside. This can come from Tommy faking, and I snag, looking to get into that weak point of the knee, come across, or the last one, to get to this low single, okay, again, for those guys that are putting hands on us, right? And I call these snags more than low singles, right? And when Tommy puts hands on me, I get heavy in the elbow. I put my elbows down, I'm bending, right? Tommy's natural reaction is going to be wanting to push away, okay, and get long. And as he does, I'm going to dive in on that low single again. Hips are down, head's finding the inside of that knee, right? For the outside finish, and I'm hitting, say I don't get the picture perfect finish, right? Say I take this shot, and I'm here, and I cannot find Tommy's knee, okay? Me having this distance and my weight down gives me the alternative to adjust, right? I can go head to the outside, back foot is now gonna slide in and split Tommy in half. Post hand comes across, collects that hip, okay? And I'm gonna come into my double. Again, back foot's gonna slide in, here, head's gonna shift from the inside to the outside, okay? I'm gonna get my shoulder, get my shoulder right here on the inside of Tommy's thigh. As I do, I'm coming up, wrapping the butt, okay, into my lock. So, again, guys that are touching me, okay, David Taylor is very great at this, okay? He'll sink and put weight in guys' feet. Elbows are down, not high. I can be down over here, I created a window over here, Tommy's gonna score. Okay? So, we're gonna sag here, put weight in his feet. Now, we can get to our low single. Okay? We're not on our picture perfect finish. This is a great position here to see it. Okay, my head's gonna slide to the outside, my back leg slides in, splits Tommy in half. And that post comes across, covers far hip. Here, circle, circle, circle. Drive leg, I start looking up, and at 11 o'clock to drive Tommy, okay? I wanna put weight in his hands, okay? And I don't want weight in his hips, okay? The hand I was on low single comes up, I clinch, cinch this, looking across the back, driving him through. Okay? Again, we can go from the outside, okay? I get to the position, I like the jab fake, good position. Jab fake, knees covering over toe, back foot follows. I sting, okay? If I'm in good position, I can crack them down. If not, okay? Second finish is head finds the outside. My knee slide in, that back leg, post hand comes across the hip. Hips come in, head and chest come up, okay? And I start getting through Tommy. Here, okay, hand that's on the low single will come down. We're locking. Every time we're locking, guys, below the butt. If I don't lock, okay, Tommy sprawl, Tommy cannot get his hips back, okay? If I don't lock Tommy sprawl, Tommy can start shedding me off, getting weight on my shoulder, and now he's looking to score. Okay, we did all that work just to lose it.